Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm finally getting around to reviewing this head sculpt by One's Customs. This is the Rob Zombie's Michael Myers Halloween 2007 head sculpt, and it's a reissued version. I guess the first version, well, the first batch sold out and was, there was quite high demand for it, so he reissued it and did it again, a few more runs. I don't know if you can still get this, but look at it, man, this is incredible. A lot of people don't like the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. He did take away the mystique of Michael Myers and just told you a little bit too much, but I like it. It might be the timing, the circumstances at which I saw the original, Rob Zombie Halloween film in 2007. I remember me and my buddy Phil, we used to watch quite a lot of movies. He'd bring his bag of beers around and I'd have my beers and we'd have our tweed and we'd sit there and we'd just watch movies. And sometimes they weren't so good and other times we'd discover a real gem. And I remember one of the times Phil brought round, this is at a period where I wasn't really too clued in on what was going on in movies. I don't think I even had the internet back then. Yeah, I didn't get the internet until 2006. So yeah, I would have had the internet, but I really was still just scratching the surface of that. So I didn't have my finger on the pulse of what films were, coming out and what was meant to be good. And I certainly wasn't a Halloween fan at the time back then. So when he brought round Devil's Rejects, I remember really liking that. And then sometime later, we were having another hangout session and he pulls Halloween out of his bag. He's like, let's watch this. It's directed by the guy who did Devil's Rejects. And I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, we had a great time watching it. I remember we laughed a lot. We actually laughed a lot during the kitchen scene, which is really horrible. In the original 2000s, I probably should stop saying the original because blood is getting very boily. But the 2007 Halloween film, me and Phil sitting there watching it in the kitchen scene, they're just so extremely sort of harsh and horrible to each other. And but those families do exist, as extreme as that scene is, where they're all just screaming at each other in that kitchen saying the most horrible things. And there are families out there like that, unfortunately, and kids are sponges. The first 5 years of a child's life, they absorb everything around them, and that is the world to them. Whatever they're experiencing at that age, that is the world that they exist in. So I mean, Rob Zombie gave Michael Myers a backstory and an explanation as to why he turned out the way he did, whereas John Carpenter left it very much blank. He's just evil. We don't know why he's doing it. He went upstairs one night when he was like 5 years old and took a kitchen knife and killed his sister, and we don't know why. And it's creepy because mystique, the less you know, sometimes is way more creepy. Leaves it up to your imagination what is going on in Michael's head. But Rob Zombie told us basically what was going on in Michael's head, so mystique gone, just big scary dude in a mask. Now with Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, Tyler Mane under the mask, he's a very big dude, like, I don't know, 6'7", something like that, 6'6", I'm not sure, but he's very big and he's hench. And if someone asked me which Michael Myers would you least like to have chasing you through a house, I would definitely not want this one chasing me, because he's just, you don't feel like you'd stand a chance with Tyler Mane's Michael Myers. Whereas with the John Carpenter one, I mean, even though John Carpenter's Michael Myers, he took 6 bullets and didn't die, I don't know, I feel like maybe if I could hide around a corner and smash him in the head with a hammer and run away, I might get a bit of a head start and he'd take a little minute to pick himself up and come after me. But Tyler Mane's Michael Myers, I don't think I would even be able to get that opportunity. He'd just grab me by the throat and smash me to bits. He's just so scary, so big. So I'm able to appreciate both. Halloween 2 got the head sculpt by One's Customs for that here. This is obviously from the nightmare sequence where he's in the back of the morgue van and they crash into a cow. Random, but I guess life is random. You never know what's going to happen. You might just crash into a cow your damn self. Now the detail on this is fabtabulous. I did give him a little bit of a haircut because his hair was a bit long, and basically the strand would start here and go all the way to the back of the neck, so I had to comb the hair up like he'd been electrocuted, and just took a tiny bit of length off each strand of hair and then combed it back down again. As you can see, I didn't take up much length at all. It still sits quite nicely. You can actually see the hair of Michael Myers, actually the long hair, coming through under the mask, so that is a nice little detail. But yeah, look at the detail on this thing, the cracks and the rips and the way they're sort of damp, mildewy kind of just nastiness has gotten into the crevices of the mask. There's a bit of blood here as well. I can't tell you exactly why that's there, but it's a nice detail all the same. Really don't remember why that blood streak is there, because I assume this is from, like, you know, I imagine this mask is meant to be a representation of when he first puts it on, when he digs it out of the floorboards, when he gets out of the mental asylum and goes looking for his mask and stuff. But this angle right here is incredible. Really, really, really good. You know, you got eyes inside that you can see. It's just a hell of a sculpt. So this is not the body or the coveralls that this head sculpt should be on. This is actually my Nightmare Sequence Halloween 2 coveralls and body that was made for me by David Tucker at C Creations. David Tucker is currently working on a new body and a new set of coveralls for this head sculpt, and we're actually well, David's using a taller body, a much taller body, and you know, obviously the coveralls are going to be bigger too. I just think scale wise that will work a lot better with this particular head sculpt, even though this head sculpt is the same size as the part 2 Nightmare Sequence head. I don't know, for some reason I just think this will look better on a slightly taller body. So we'll get in a minute and we'll have a look. I've taken loads of pictures of this already, so the photography is already done. I can go ahead and show you that throughout the course of the video, but just that you see, you've got your split here where the split would be in a mask, and obviously, like I said, you've got the real hair from Michael Myers showing underneath there. Yeah, this is very, very nicely detailed. Let's get him looking up even more. Yeah, I mean, the detail on the eyes, just see if I can get in on that a little bit more for you. Yeah, the eyes are very, very well painted, so the light really catches them, but they're nicely deep set into the sculpt, so that when you do turn the head down and when the lights are sort of dark and creepy, it is you know, just basically 2 black holes in the mask. It's just because I'm right in front of the window, wanted to get that natural daylight for you so you could really pick up on the details here. Let's just get in on the cracks and the crevices. Yeah, very, very cool. One thing I've always wanted to see Once Customs do or attempt would be to do Michael from the 2007 Rob Zombie film when he's wearing that when he's still a kid, basically right before he gets hauled off to the mental asylum, and he's wearing like the clown outfit, but he wears this mask when it's absolutely mint fresh, and he's walking down the hallway chasing his sister with the knife. I mean, I'd love to see one tackle that one day. That's definitely a version of Michael I'd love to have in the collection. But this is just an amazing sculpt, there's no doubt about it. So once I get the new body and the new coveralls from David Tucker at C Creations, I will do a full review on the full figure itself, complete. But at the moment, this is just a nice look at the head sculpt. So, damn creepy how you can see the shape, the original 78 shape, just in the background there, all blurred out. It just looks really scary. Just get it from a different angle that you see. Very, very impressive. Immense sculpting skills. And any angle where it kind of falls and the shadows kind of hit the eye holes and it just turns to black, it is always creepy. Yeah, I'm gonna get really close up now, actually. Let's get really, really in there and see what's going on. Alright, so here we have pretty much an extreme close-up, and you can see just the skill, the really, really nice. I mean, look at the texture on the mask. It's not just a flat surface here. He's actually giving it, like, I don't know how you'd say it, but I mean, just the texture, you know? I mean, look at it. It's really, really, really good. Let's turn him to the other side here, and there you go. Yeah, you can just soak in that detail for a moment. The old side profile. Just in case any of you guys come along in the comment section saying you got his hair too flat down or his hair should be more messy, there you go, his hair's messy. That's what he looks like. I don't think it looks good, so I just put it back the way it was. Go ahead and, I mean, let a couple of strands go a little bit wild. There you go, that's not too bad. But yeah, you gotta tame the hair, man. You gotta tame it. I mean, in Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie one, the hair is supposed to be more crazy, kind of falling down around his face kind of thing. So that's what I do with that one. But with this one, you know, he was pretty fresh, so don't go too crazy with the messy hair look. Look at that. Let's take a look at both these head sculpts side by side. So obviously you have your 2007 version here, and then the sequel here, which I believe was what, 2009. So obviously the head sculpt on the right has taken some more damage. He was actually shot in the head at the end of the first film, so that might be what this bit of damage here is about. I mean, that would make sense. So yeah, the hair's a bit more messy on the part 2, and it should be. Turn them slightly to the side. So yeah, there's a slight color difference as well. The part 2 on the right there has a bit more of a blue kind of tinge to it color wise, and the cracks in the mask don't really have the kind of, it's kind of damp, kind of, I don't know, it just makes me think of like damp, just the dampness seeping into the cracks and just weathering over time. This doesn't have that, but the cracks are all still there, and yeah, it's pretty consistent. You've kind of got the what do they call it now, that kind of Alice Cooper kind of slit, like, you know, the way like Eric Draven's makeup in The Crow. Certain shadows, the way they fall, it can kind of make it look at times like Michael Myers has that kind of Alice Cooper kind of line on his eye there, which I do like. So yeah, there's a look at both the head sculpts together. I love them both. I couldn't tell you which one I prefer at the moment. I like the, you know, the original here with the, you know, just the cracks and the weathering and the years kind of aged into it, and then this one over here, which is just all beat to hell and really kind of gross and scary. I mean, look at the blood work on that. That is very impressive. So yeah, both incredible head sculpts. Very, very happy to have both of these. Like I've said in other videos, there was a time when I didn't think I'd ever even own one's customs head sculpt. They were just quite tricky to get hold of, and me being here in the UK, you got to try and find a way to get in touch with these people, and I was finally able to grab one's customs email thanks to Tanila's Customs. So I was able to get in touch with one, and now I have the 1/4 scale 1978 Myers head sculpt coming from one's Customs, and it's a really fair price as well, considering, you know, the work that must go into it and all those factors. Let's turn it away and let's just get a look at the back of the heads here, in case that's something you want to see. So yeah, the same type of hair has been used here. I'm not sure where one gets hold of this kind of hair that he uses, but it's very good for this particular version of Michael Myers, the Rob Zombie version. I think Ruby is doing her guard dog thing outside. Maybe someone's trying to break in. Good luck with that, folks. Ruby gonna tear you a new one. But there you go, guys. Look at that. 2 awesome head sculpts. So I'll bring you a more let me just go ahead and lift this up here. This is a Glenn Page diorama here that I'm just using as a background. So here's my part 2 David Tucker coveralls and body. Go ahead and just put that up on there. Use a bit of blue tack up in the head sculpt just to get it to sit on the neck peg correctly. Alright. Kind of like the way his hair looks right there. But I will bring you another video on this once I get the new body and the new coveralls from David Tucker at C Creations, which should be just in time for Halloween. Just show you a little comparison between the NECA 1/4 scale head sculpt, which I have repainted quite drastically, and I did remove all the plastic hair and put hair from a werewolf Halloween mask on it instead. Now, the side profile on the NECA one, you can't mess with that, and the sculpt itself is perfection. I mean, they really have nailed it. Just like they did with the 78 version in the background there, which I also redid the hair on that as well. It just enhances and takes out, you know, any doubts and makes the the likeness just dead on. So from the side profile, the NECA one is just perfect. You know, it really is. From the front too, I guess the hair, depending on how you got it positioned and stuff, that affects things, but I just think the NECA one is pretty much damn near perfect. And over here, you can't really mess with the custom 1/6 scale version either by One's Customs. Let's just turn it to the side. I do feel, let's just get this to focus. Yeah, I do feel from the side profile, there is something that happens sometimes when I look at it. Like that one is undeniable from the side. You can still tell 100% that is dead on. And then over here, something, I know, was it the forehead? Maybe the shape of the forehead sort of protrudes a little bit. See the way it kind of bumps out? Maybe that's accurate, I'm not sure. But yeah, just a little visual comparison for you between the NECA Sculpt, you know, which isn't really fair because it's 1/4 scale, there's more room for detail, and it's by an official company. And this is a custom piece by an artist with his own take on the sculpt itself. But anyway, just to let you see, there is the NECA Part 1 Rob Zombie Myers Sculpt at 1/4 scale, and the One's Customs completely customized, well, completely made from scratch, man. This was once nothing and now it's something. It's right here on the head sculpt. Damn. So you're all done, mister. Go ahead and pop you down here in your little special spot. Grab the other head sculpt, put that down here. There we go. Alright guys, plenty more Myers stuff on the way. I'll bring you videos. Let me know if there's any fans out there, Michael Myers fans, you want to see something in particular, a particular comparison, you want to know more details on a particular figure you see before you hear it. This is the month to ask, because I'll be more than happy to show you. But I'll do a big comparison between all of my 1/6 scale One's Customs head sculpts soon. What's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 One's Customs Myers sculpts in the collection at the moment, so that's more than enough to do a nice big comparison between all of them. Look forward to that in the future. And yeah, oh, I actually got a message from Nathan. You know, Silent Surfer says that the Madbug / Silent Surfer 78 Myers head is actually shipping today, so that's going to be here soon, guys. At last, can't wait to get it and see how it looks. I got my Yunsil coveralls here ready to go. Need to find myself a body actually to use. I might have to sacrifice one of my Travis Bickle taxi driver figures to use the body for the next Michael Myers, but yeah, I'll let you know more about that soon. So plenty of goodies on the way. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.